Hey there YouTube, in the church where I go, we have a pretty general rule regarding worship. We, during each Sunday morning and afternoon service, recite poems towards the glory of God. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I saying this? Well, the answer is simple. The Mohammedans also recite poems to the glory of their God. Most of these poems are recorded in the Seerah of Ishaq, which is the oldest narrative of Muhammad's life. So nobody can come and say it's not approved, it's not clear, it's disproven, because if they do, they destroy their own credibility. Mohammedans have no older source than Ishaq, so they must accept it. It's their version of our gospel. Now, I will read to you from these books some of the poems Mohammedans wrote on various occasions. Now, before I do, fair warning. Much of this stuff is X-rated, so if you're below 18, you might want to turn the audio off and walk out of the room. For those of you who are old enough and think they have the stomach for it, I hope this will be enlightening and you will see the danger that humanity faces by tolerating Islam. We tolerate this doctrine at our own peril. Now, the first poem is from Ishaq's Seerah on page 385. It was composed by Abu Bakr, the first caliph, who was also Muhammad's father-in-law and Aisha's father. You all know who Aisha is probably by now, so we'll see how her daddy used his imagination to write poetry. This is the result. This poem was written after the Battle of Uhud, when Mohammed, peace and blessing be upon him, decided to protect his new headquarters against the Quraysh. This is the result of Islam and its influence upon poetry. Ishaq, page 385. May Allah curse Hind, who is Abu Sufyan's wife, she with the large clitoris. Her backside and her genitals are covered with ulcers as a result of spending too much time in the saddle. Did you set out to seek vengeance for your father and your son at Badr, and your husband, who was wounded in the backside, lying in his blood, and your brother, all of them coated in the grime of the pit? What a foul deed you committed! Woe to you, Hind, the shame of the age! Now, that's not really beautiful. But then again, I don't know what is beautiful about Islam. And in case you didn't catch it, Abu Bakr had a little thing about the clitoris. In Ishaq, page 490, we read, Now Abu Bakr was standing behind him, that is, behind Muhammad, said, Go suck the clitoris of Alat. If you don't know who Alat is, she was a pagan rock idol and one of Allah's 3 daughters. Now, clitoris aside, imagine reading this at a Friday sermon. Mohammedans, I'm not sure if they have a brain or not, but if they do, I suggest they start writing something better than this stuff, because this would be illegal even in a pornographic movie. Now, leaving porn aside, let's see something else. Another poem from Ishaq. This one is actually from the Battle of Muta. No, not the Shia marriage stuff. The Battle of Muta against the Byzantines. Now, listen to how the Mohammedans motivate their troops to go into combat. Ishaq, page 542. I ask the Merciful One, aka Ar-Rahman, for a pardon and for a sword that cuts wide and deep, creating a wound that shoots out foaming blood. I ask for a deep deadly thrust by a thirsty lance, held by a zealous warrior that pierces right through the guts and the liver, slitting the bowels. People shall pass by my grave and say, Allah guided him, fine raider that he was. Oh warrior, he did well. End of quote. Well, I can say it's an improvement, but heck, I'm willing to accept anything as long as it doesn't use dirty words. And think about this. There is nothing a Mohammedan wants more than to kill and to be killed. It's their way of thinking. Sadly, they don't know two very important things. The things they covet in the afterlife are all here on earth, waiting for them. And the second problem is, their god is Satan. And they are worshipping a creature that will destroy them and throw them into hell. Now, the next poem is from, again it's from Ishaq, it's from page 572, and this one comes courtesy of Muhammad's invasion of Taif. Now, Taif was an old grudge for Muhammad. He went there after the satanic verses incident to ask the pagans for help. Now, and that's embarrassing. Imagine a prophet going to the pagans for help rather than going to his God. Okay, as stupid as it is, the Taif people refused to help him for 1,000 obvious reasons. Now, 10 years later, Muhammad went there and he besieged the city, trying to get revenge. This is how he inspired his troops into combat. Ishaq, page 572. Mohammed is the man, an apostle of my Lord, who errs not, neither does he sin. Now there's a delusional thought. Any who would rival him in goodness must fail. Evil was the state of our enemy, so they lost the day. Fortunes change, and we came upon them like lions from the thickets. The armies of Allah came openly, fighting at them in rage, so they could not get away. We destroyed them and forced them to surrender. In the former days there were no battles like this. Their blood flowed freely. We slew them and threw them into the dust. Those who escaped were choked with terror. A multitude was slain. This is Allah's war, in which those who do not accept Islam will have no helper. War destroyed the tribe, and fate the clan. Well, this poem is actually illuminating because it tells us several things. First off, it tells us that Islam actually corrupted the Bedouins of Arabia. It did not make them into better people. We just read that in the former days, that is before Islam, there were no battles like this. Muhammad's doctrine destroyed Arabia and all the world. We also learn the fact that Allah himself does dirt work. Muhammad was a coward, a lying, slithering snake. He did not accept responsibility for anything. Every time he killed, robbed, enslaved, murdered, or pillaged, it was always his God who did these things, not him, not him. Can you imagine the filth and the cowardice of such a person? And while that's hilarious, it gets worse. The line, those who escaped were choked with terror, is chilling. The purpose of Mohammedans to this day is to choke all infidels with terror so that they will not fight back. They do this so that their God can corrupt us and their rulers oppress us. Now this will be the end of the video, so in the meantime I wish you all good luck in fighting against Islam, and remember, be a kafir, be proud of it, and God bless you all. Amen.